Right around this time of the morning, 21 years ago, America stood still in shock, watching images even our imaginations were telling us could not be real. The death and destruction perpetrated by terrorists against innocent people on September 11, 2001, were followed by a 20-year war that ended just last summer, and by a long cleanup at Ground Zero that continues to make victims of the heroic first responders who worked on the pile and who have had to fight for their own care in a country that pledged to never forget. NBC's Rahema Ellis has more in our Sunday Focus.
For Joan Mandela, the pain of 9/11 hurts today like never before.
Right now it is very raw.
Her husband, Vinny, father of her 4 sons and a firefighter, died in May.
I thought we had dodged the bullet. I did.
Surviving the terrorist attacks, but succumbing to 9/11-related kidney cancer. He and many others breathing toxic fumes while doing exhausting work at Ground Zero more than 20 years ago.
He went to so many of the funerals, and seeing the families, it really touched him.
And now you are one of those families.
Yes, I now am.
It's hard to take that pain out of your heart.
It is. It is, and I miss him so much.
On 9/11, officials thought the air was safe. But as a firefighter told me that day,
pulverized cement.
Pulverized cement?
Concrete, yeah.
The concrete. Combination of the ash.
A little bit of everything.
It was just a guess. Many people got sick early on, doctors say, because there was a mixture of dangerous chemicals in the air that burned for months. Now, the number of first responders getting sick is exploding. Last year, more than 2,200 cancer cases were reported. So far this year, more than 2,400.
When I saw those numbers, I said, oh my God, it's happening.
But why are these cases becoming more prevalent now?
It takes a long time for what we call solid tumors, things like breast cancer, prostate cancer, thyroid cancer to develop, and that's what we're seeing in our patients. Hey, how are you feeling?
How are you?
Robert Jordan is one of those patients.
I was diagnosed with stage 4 throat cancer.
A retired New York City police officer, Jordan says he spent over 200 days working on the pile. He got free medical care, surgery, and chemotherapy through the World Trade Center Health Program, paid for with federal funds. His cancer is now in remission. For you, this has been a lifesaver?
Lifesaver. For me and many people I know.
Now there's similar free medical care for thousands beyond first responders. Many don't know it exists.
They'll say, I didn't know I was eligible. I thought these programs were only for first responders. They're not.
Michael Barasch represents thousands of those who worked, lived, or went to school in Lower Manhattan. 20 years later, and he says the medical coverage is critical.
Not a week goes by without at least 10 of my clients dying. That's 2 a day. It's so heartbreaking.
Heartbroken?
Yes, heartbroken. He was the love of my life.
This year, Joan faces 9/11 without her college sweetheart and wonders whether the monuments built in tribute to those lost that day are enough.
That's the main reason why we can't forget. Nobody should forget, because people are still dying from what happened on 9/11.
And Rahema joins me now from Ground Zero in New York City. Rahema, good morning. As those heroic first responders seem to have to march on Capitol Hill every couple of years just to get health care, more of them, as you say, are getting sick than ever. So how are doctors actually tracking these cases, and how can people get help?
Well, Willie, good morning. Doctors tracking these cases say it's interesting that they're seeing more patients surfacing right about now as we're remembering 9/11. And they say they want people to sign up for the 9/11 Victims Compensation Fund. If you lived, worked, or went to school around here 21 years ago, even if you have no symptoms today, should problems arise in the future, the fund will help cover those medical bills. Willie?
That's good to know. As you say, I don't think a lot of people eligible even know that is out there. Rahema Ellis at Ground Zero for us on this solemn anniversary. Rahema, thanks so much. We appreciate it.